Welcome to the Echo Lens podcast, where we view assistive technology through the eyes of lived experience. I'm your host, Kenisha, and every episode we explore how dignity, design, and innovation intersect to empower blind and low vision communities. We're not just reviewing tech, we're reframing it. So, this is a space for truth telling, for honoring the voices that often go unheard, and for challenging the industry to do better. Whether you're a developer, a user, or someone who simply believes in equity, you're in the right place. This is the Echo Lens. Let's take a closer look. So, welcome to this episode of the Echo Lens. This episode, we have Brandy Mims. Brandy is an award-worthy deaf-blind dancer, choreographer, educator, and inclusive arts leader whose work sits at the intersection of movement, accessibility, and social change. As the founder and artistic director of Listen with Your Eyes dance troupe, she uses dance as a powerful tool for storytelling, advocacy, and community connection. Brandy's speaking centers on accessibility in the arts, disability identity, resilience, leadership, and inclusive education. Drawing from her lived experience as a deaf-blind artist and educator, she challenges audiences to rethink how communication, creativity, and leadership can exist beyond sound and traditional systems. Brandy's originally from New Orleans and based in Little Rock, Arkansas. Brandy holds a BFA in dance and an MFA in choreography. She is recognized as the first deafblind Black female dancer to earn a BFA in dance from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. So her academic and artistic research focuses on inclusive choreography, deaf and deaf-blind access, and embodied storytelling. So, as a K through 12 dance educator, a touring artist, and a public speaker, Brandy has presented for schools, universities, arts organizations, and community groups. Her talks are known for being authentic, engaging, and deeply human, often paired with movement demonstrations that allow audiences to feel the message rather than simply hear it. So, welcome to the podcast, Brandy.
Hi, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have Brandy. And Brandy's your dance name is Unique the Deaf Dancer. That's your stage name?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So, I found Brandy when I was doing some research on social media, and I happened to find her in one of the blind and low vision Facebook groups. She posted about her dancing in a video or something, and I was like, "What? That is beautiful. Please come on our podcast and tell us about how amazing you are."
Thank you.
So, Brandy, first black the first deaf-blind Black female dancer to earn a BFA in dance from the University of Arkansas. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It
That's
was hard.
amazing.
It was hard,
It was
but thank you.
Yes. Are you able to tell us a little bit of your story? How are you connected to the blind and low vision community?
My connection with the blind is actually it's crazy, but I have what you call Usher syndrome. And I didn't
Usher
really know
syndrome?
what yes.
Mhm.
I did not know that I even had that trait or that I even had that syndrome until I had my second son, who is now
Mhm.
14. But we found out 14 years ago that um, we took him to the doctor because he was not eating and we wanted to make sure he was okay as a baby. They did a blood test, and then they came back and said, well, he has a missing link of a DNA, um, Usher syndrome, meaning one of the parents is carrying this trait. They have
Mhm.
hearing loss, they have vision loss, and balance and all this other stuff. But the two things that really grabbed me was the hearing loss. I said, of course, obvious. I'm the only deaf person in my family. So, of course, it's me. But when they say the
Okay.
progressive vision loss, this is the part that really kind of like struck me the most because when you say progressive vision, progressive, like it's going to be going, failing down. I said, so knowing that I will one day lose my vision 100% is not something I'm really looking forward to,
Yeah.
but I have to accept it. And so that right now is, I'm still, like, even to this day, I'm still trying to accept that part of my life because I've been deaf my whole
Mhm.
life. I've always had hearing aids, I've always been deaf, but the vision part, I've always wore glasses as a kid. My family never knew anything about that part because I'm adopted. So
Yes.
now myself, and now that I realize when I do have my moment, and most people look at you and they think when you tell someone you're blind, they're expecting the old obvious stereotype, a blind person that can't see exactly nothing. That probably I don't know what they wearing glasses, sunglasses over their eyes. But
Mhm.
I don't like that. I need people to understand that we come in different ways. Mine is more of a low vision problem, and it really changes more at nighttime, or if it's a dark
Yes.
room, or if it's too bright, and then my eyes are overexposed. And then I go into even though the light is on, but I'm coming from somewhere my eyes is overexposed. My eyes are like kind of stuck, and they kind of have to wait for them to like get back to normal, which is kind of frustrating. But I have to.
Almost like when you get your eyes dilated probably, right? Where it's really sensitive for a while?
I c It's the weirdest thing. It's like I know if I'm like, say I'm driving home, right? And oh my God. I think that's probably like the worst thing. I would drive when I'm driving home, and you know how that sun set right there smack in your face when you're driving and you're
Yes.
like, oh my, probably that's probably one of my most anxiety part as far as when the sun is like setting because
Mhm.
it's so bright that when I go in, it's like, it feels like it's black, and then sooner or later
Yeah.
it starts coming back to normal. Um, but then I started realizing I started meeting other deaf blind individuals because I don't know many. I started meeting other ones, and I started seeing them do some protesta, which is sign language with touch, and then I see them using a cane, and I have deaf friends in California. They know many deaf blind, and like we're gonna get you connected with them. And now I am walking with a cane at night. I have to make sure I leave my house with one. I mean, I'm fine in the day, but there have been time where I've been somewhere and it's like completely dark outside,
Mhm.
and I'm stuck
Yeah.
because I can't. I'm scared to walk. I'm scared to move. I'm scared
Yes.
to, and people
Yeah.
don't understand that part. Like, this is where
They
the blindness
don't.
come in. Yes.
Yes, and I relate with that too. I use my cane a lot at night more than during the day unless it's like a new area that I'm trying to navigate, then I'll bring it just in case. But yeah, I completely understand that part. So you said you found out when your son's blood test came back. So does your child have Usher syndrome as well?
Both of my kids. I'm 100% sure my oldest one too, but we definitely know that my youngest one. But both of them have the trait in their body. They
Okay.
have the DNA, but it skipped them. So it actually
Okay.
skipped them. But if they meet another woman and she have that same trait DNA, that means their children will have Usher syndrome. So it's weird and it's so crazy. And I tell people, I make a joke of it, but Usher syndrome is hell, mutant. And people go like, what? I say, we're mutant. We're just a mutation people, like both
Mhm.
back in the day, did some ungodly things that they weren't supposed to do within the
Mm.
family. And that kind of developed that. So it just
Okay.
carries. So now that trace is just spreading, and you don't even know where it's actually started. So I'm adopted.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
someone in my family that my either my biological mom or my dad, one of them had to have it, but I have never met them
Okay.
yet. So
So it's really interesting too. You bring up the fact that you're adopted. A lot of
hmm
folks, we've touched on this in a podcast in the past for a second, but a lot of folks don't realize that when you're adopted, right, we don't have access. You don't have access to your medical records or your familial history in most places. That like it can be really frustrating because you have these medical things going on, but you don't really have any answers for them because of not having access to knowing about your biological family.
right, right, and it's actually I can't tell you how tired and how tired I am of saying I have to go to the doctor and you give
Hmm.
him the same old sentence. Do you have any history of blood pressure or cancer? And you're filling out that form, and the big form is just like, I do not
Hmm.
know, or I write unknown because I'm adopted. I have no clue,
Hmm.
And I think it's kind of sad that I mean, I felt like if you're going to adopt someone or put your child up for adoption, this is me. I really wish and believe that you should at least write what are the medical history in your family? Like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, this family has blood pressure problem, high blood pressure. They have vision problem, something to just give that child something to say. Okay, I know what I need to be on the lookout for when I become, older. So
Hmm.
knowing that, hey, that's cancer in your family. I can't answer that question. I
Yeah,
gotta
you
find
don't
out for
know.
myself, So
Yeah, yeah.
that's not something I'm looking forward to. I don't like that part, not knowing, you know. Yeah. So
So as far as communication, do you use sign language at all?
my first communication is English, vocal, oral. My adopted parents, when they were alive, they I guess they wanted to make me as normal as
Mm,
possible. And like when I'm talking to a lot of people and I really just feel like most parents I understand because I'm a parent myself. We want our children to be born as healthy as possible with no issue, just come out a healthy baby. But some parents, unfortunately that child comes out with a disability, and some parents accept it and some don't. I don't really believe that my family really accepted. So I think they tried to fix me. Once they found out that I was deaf because they adopt me at 2. So I don't think they found out until I started going to school for pre-K. And, you take the little hearing test at school. So I think that's how they found out. But after that, I think they were like trying to fix me. I even feel like, I don't can't remember everything, but I even feel like I had surgery one time. I can't remember. Because you're a child, you can't remember everything. But it's like flashes. I feel like I've had surgery before, but I can't remember. Um, but speaking has always been my first language. I speak. I've had many years of speech therapy. I didn't start learning about sign language and probably until middle school because I was the only deaf girl in elementary. And then I went
okay.
to middle school. And when I went to my middle school, that's when I saw other kids like me. And I noticed they were doing things with their hand and you're like, what is that? But what was bad about that was because we were in a mainstream school, our teachers were not allowing us to use sign language neither. They were forcing us to talk and not sign.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that was hard. So if we had to communicate, we had to communicate. They forced us to use our voice and not sign. Then I went to high school. I was a mainstream school, no sign there. So I really just grew up speaking. Um, Learning to sign was something I picked up, but now I've been in the deaf community for now that I work at a deaf school, it's been improving. But automatically, I think my brain knows when I'm around a hearing person or when I'm around a deaf person. Because if I'm with you, like you and I are talking, automatic my brain know I could just talk. But if I know there's a deaf person in the room, I can automatically do both because I would have to voice and sign at the same time to make sure everybody understands. So I wish my family would accept the deafness and allow me to learn more about my deaf culture as a child because I feel like because they didn't accept it, it made me struggle in life about accepting it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a
But you know
long
what?
struggle.
You have another language that you speak through. And I would say, is that dance, Brandy? Because
Yay!
dance, I feel like, is like a huge language for you. Can you tell us about dance and your connection and where you are today with that?
I don't even know how to explain it, but I tell people dance is just my life. It's just life to me. It really does still stay connected about how what I've been through life. And remembering being that girl afraid to well, when people picked on me growing up, and I did have that weird accent of trying to pronounce my letters and kids picking on me, and I never read out loud. And that's funny. I talked to my friend earlier about this. Not being able to talk out loud, and people made fun of how I sound when I did talk, and I just stayed within myself and never really was able to feel like I was able to express myself because I did. It was always being picked on, and I really feel like some people today, still today, make us feel that way, but when I was growing up as a kid, when you don't have anyone telling you anything else different, you actually start believing that deaf is dumb and you can't read and you can't do so many things. So that's what I kind of carried on in my life as a child. But by the time I got to community college, I found cheerleading. I went to that lady and said, "Hey, I want to be a cheerleader, but I don't know how to cheer, I don't know how to jump, and I don't know how to split." And she said, "That's fine, but she said that was fine, but she said just come to the audition. I mean, I went, I messed up. I was like, I didn't make it, but she told me no, you made it. And when I found out I made it, I was like, oh my God, you never know unless you try, like,
Mhm.
cause until when I tried out for that, that's when I knew that you have to it just felt like the door just opened up wider for me to like, and I've never missed cheerleading practice. I was always at every game, and I did it for 3 years. I was at every game, never missed. And even got sick and lost my voice. I was still on the sideline, moving my mouth like I was cheering, because that's how much I enjoy being on. And then dance came later after my second son. I don't know. I wanted to go back to school and get a degree because I wanted stability because, I have 2 kids and I didn't want to be a mother that's struggling and I wanted to have something so my kids don't have to struggle. I found dance. I went in there with the same little, hi, Brandy. I'm deaf. And I never took a dance class and passed. So it took me 6 years it's a 4-year program. It took
Yeah.
me 6 years.
That's so amazing though, because most folks, especially folks who are getting their bachelor's and their higher level education when it comes to dance, they've been dancing since they were 2, 3 years old. You found dance as an adult and were able to like
At the
get through this
age of
program.
33.
That's
33.
amazing. That's amazing.
Being the oldest person in the class. But it was a little, I'm not going to say it was easy. I struggled. I
Mhm.
even think that's when I found more connection about my vision because
Yeah.
the further along in the school year when we started, when I finally was starting to be able to participate in the dance concert is in the big theater and the backstage is dark and you got to get on and off the stage in the dark. And so, I mean, this is me really trying to learn first. Cause like I just had my son and okay, I'm still not understanding what Usher syndrome is. I just heard about it. But I realized for myself, I learned how to adapt. I say, so what can I do? I don't want these people to think I can't do the job because I can't see. I don't know, and automatically for myself, I I started counting, and I feel like I just started counting the pattern. Like if I'm in the wing, and I say, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be on the stage. So if I'm in the wing, what would I do? I will walk. and go, you know how you count in feet? You just one, you put one foot in the other and you count it. One,
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, you know, count. Then I would count and remember that counting. Then I would look around and see where I'm at. Okay, okay, there I. This is how many counts to get here. Okay, let's go back. And then I would do it again and close my eyes
Yeah.
and do the same exact thing I did and do that same count that I just did. And then I would open my eyes and say, okay, this is it. I just need to remember this, do this, and I'm great. Now, that's one part I studied trying to learn to be adapt with my business. But if there's a group of us and there's someone in the wing with me, I would have to go, hey, do you mind holding, bringing me to my spot?
Mhm.
You know, when we have to set up. And sometimes it's kind of hard to ask people because I don't, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know. It just be so
yeah.
hard. And
No, that's how it is, right? We don't wanna ask we wanna be able to do it on ourselves and not have to worry about other folks, like, worrying about us.
right,
Yeah, I get it, I get it.
right. So you go, can
Yeah.
you help me? And then they go, okay.
Mhm.
And then they'll help me. And then, oh my goodness, at the end, we got this bow you got to do at the end, right? So
Mhm.
whatever the dance is, you hit that pose, you wait for the light go off, and then you got to help and get in a straight line in the door. Okay, hey, I have to find who's closer to me at the end of the dance. Say, at the end, when the lights go, can you grab me and just bring me into the line so I can be ready?
Yeah.
Can you make sure you carry my hand and lead me off the stage? Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility for myself to be able. I get the assets that I need, but sometimes it can be a little bit sad because sometimes they forget. Like,
Mhm.
but dance
But
is my
them
life.
helping too, yeah, yeah, dancing's your life. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Dance is completely my life because even though I struggled the first few years, because not only was I struggling with the techniques and trying to
Mhm.
do because I'm late in it, but I was struggling with the deafness of my just accepting my deafness because I was trying to be normal and trying to. I had my
Yeah.
interpreters. I had my interpreters. I had my clothes. I had everything I need as far as my deaf asset, but there was something in my head that was holding me back to be able to really come out and express myself as a dancer because I was always worrying about what people think and looking for validation and approval, and it was really hard. And so by the time I went to California for the first time in 2017 to an international deaf dance festival, I met other deaf dancers from all over the world, like
That's
Hong
amazing.
Kong, Jamaica, Australia, Africa. It's just so many. And when I met them, of course I'm one. I've been using my voice the rest of my whole life. So I'm like, I'm going around deaf people and I haven't signed in forever. So how am I gonna do this? Because I've been in the hearing world for so long. Now I have to go into this deaf world and know how to communicate. But when I got there and saw all these amazing deaf dancers and realized we all shared the same story, like we all had mange and then just learned that, I mean, they were phenomenal. And then at that part, I think something in my heart that, you know what, it's okay to be deaf and it's okay to be a dancer. I can do both. I can be a deaf dancer. And after that moment, I went back home for my last year. Before I graduated, I went in with my last year. I guess I did a 360 because Brandy was shining and I was just dancing like it was nothing. And I knew it's like this feeling, it's a passion because
Mhm.
it's a good little feeling that just light up in you and make you feel like you can breathe so easily. Oh my
Yeah.
God, my teacher started noticing the change and and ever since then, I just been going up with it because
Yeah.
dance is the way and I realized that's how I'm able to express my emotions and
Mhm.
feelings. I mean, don't tell nobody. Of course, it's podcast, but my secret probably come out. But I actually do look forward to making people cry on my performance because that would let me know that you were connected. So when people
Yeah.
come up, say, "Brady, you got me crying," I say, "Okay, well, thank you. I'm happy to hear that." You know.
You said that was my goal.
But dance is life. Dance is life. Is definitely my voice. It is my
Yeah.
voice. I mean, if you see me in Walmart and if I can hear the music, but I can hear that little bass, and you see that woman over there, she really like busting big movement. You be like, I don't care, cause it just but I know somebody's watching. And so if they see it, that's gonna make them feel good. So also me just sharing that energy of high energy and joy of dancing and movement, it just makes someone else feel the same way, even though they can't do it or feel like I can't dance. I got two lefty. That's all.
Yeah.
I can teach you how to dance, but yeah, dance is life.
Yeah. So you have your dance and you're learning and you're adjusting to being able to move across the stage like you want to express yourself, both being deaf and blind. So not only can we have a different feeling when you're hearing the music, I or feeling the music, I should say, and then the sight stuff on top of it, so now you really have to trust your body and your instincts to know where you're supposed to be at on the
Right.
stage, or this is how I feel, please let me not be by the edge, and, like, something, something happened, right? Which I've d woo, I commend you. So is there, like, any adaptive or assistive technology that you can use for dance? What do
Well, from
you
what
what do you rely on when you're learning the steps and trying to get it down?
from a deaf perspective or a blind perspective, from a deaf perspective, music has never been my thing. I mean, I no, but I mean, let me say it like this. Most hearing, and now when I do a presentation, which I have to do on Monday at a middle school, and sometimes I say, when you listen to music, what is the first thing you're listening for? Right? What is the first thing you listen to? The music or the instrument? Or is it the lyrics? How do you know you're gonna love a song when you turn it on?
Mm,
And so when I ask that question, most people, but I can hear words. I can hear something going on and I can hear voices, but I cannot understand what they're saying. And
okay.
I was just telling my son, like, I can hear the music as long as I have my hearing aids in. I can hear the music. I can hear people singing. Ask me what they're saying. I can't tell you unless I look at the
Yeah,
lyrics. I
that
have
makes
to
sense.
read the lyrics in order to understand what
Mhm.
they're saying. But when it comes to me and music, it's something I have a relationship with music that I guess not a lot of people is gifted with. And that's just weird to say, but I really truly believe I have a relationship with music where I prefer to dance to instrumental music because,
Instrumental. Mhm.
yeah, one,
Mhm.
lyrics, great. But if you play a popular song with words, everybody in the audience is going to be in a, da, da, they'll be able to
Mhm.
kind of jam
Mhm.
to the song, but their focus will not be 100% on you because they're too busy
Mhm.
jamming to the music of the song. For me, is I play instrumental music and I want you to listen to the words that I'm saying with my body.
Yeah. Yeah, you're telling a story with your movement.
And I mean, I
Yeah.
can give you a band that I love. It's called. There's two. It's not even a band. I guess a two-man band if you want to say. But it's two cello. They're actually called the two cellos. They play cello.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I've heard of them. The Yes.
Uh-huh. And so they have Michael Jackson song. Oh shoot.
The Smooth Criminal one?
Smooth criminal. Nah,
Yep,
if
the Smooth
nah,
Yeah, yeah, they did
yeah,
it on,
smooth
they did a
criminal.
version. Yep, yep. They
If
did a
you
version of
listen
that on Glee
If you listen to
a
Michael
lot of years
Jackson
ago.
song, you got all you got Michael Jackson singing behind it, but you focusing
Huh?
on Michael because you listen to the words of Michael, right?
Yes.
But when I listen to Two Solo play this, it's
Mhm,
so much emotion within the strings
mhm.
and how you can hear the emotion coming out of that music.
Yeah,
So so
yeah,
in the way is the music is actually telling me how I'm gonna feel. What
yeah.
what emotion I'm bringing out of it. If it's a strong emotion, I know the mood strong. If it's soft, I know the mood soft. And 9 out of 10,
Mhm.
if I do a solo performance, it's never playing.
Mm. It's never planned? So
I
you're
was waiting for you. I
improving?
was ready for you to
You're
react to that. I was
Wait, it's
waiting for
never
you to react to
so
that,
if
but
you're
I
doing
said that.
so if
That's
you're
my thing.
so it's
I was waiting. I
improv.
was like, it's never playing when I do
Love
a solo.
that. Okay,
That's
so that's
so
talent. So what about how do you handle the blind side? Do you use anything to help you as you're learning?
um
You did say a couple of things like you count your steps and you're asking folks around you for help, do you have to use any assistive devices? I mean, we're probably not going to dance on stage with our cane, but
It depends. It really depends. It
Mhm,
depends on the
mhm,
because for me, the most important thing for me is I need to see the stage. I need to be on the stage before the performance. I
mhm,
need to feel and see what's, like just
mhm,
know my space. I have to know that space first. I have to, for like my experience in December, I did a performance with a group of women, and the stage was not that big. I'm sorry, it was not a big stage, but it's like eight of us on this tiny little stage, okay? So, but the problem was the wall is black, the backstage is black, this is black. They got all this light. They think it helped, but it doesn't help. But I do know when it comes to because the Usher syndrome is more of like a tunnel vision thing. We lose
yeah,
it.
no
Mine is not.
peripheral?
Mine is
Mhm,
really not sideways. It's not. It's
oh,
real.
okay,
It's iffy. It's
mhm,
iffy on the side, but it's mainly under here.
okay, the
It's under
depth
me.
perception piece, okay,
It is under me. So if
mhm,
I would trip over something and don't see it. So I realize
yeah,
mine is more like down here.
yeah,
Yeah. If I don't look down to see it, I'm going to, fall over it, So the stage is black and they didn't have any kind of tape. The floor is black. The runway is everything is black. So just imagine. I feel okay. I need something to let me know where the edge of this stage in. Because if I don't see it, and I tell people this, and I say it very well for them to hear, if there is nothing on this edge of the tape, this stage for me to see, I will fall off this stage. Or I'm not gonna be able to perform my best because I'm gonna be having a panic attack because I
yeah,
can't
you'll be
see.
worried about if I'm gonna go to the edge or
Dying.
not.
Guys,
Mhm,
what about dying?
mhm,
Exactly. But that's the other thing. When you're working with people who not used to a blind person or on a dance stage or a deaf person, it's becoming where you have to advocate for yourself. You have to say, okay, these are the things I need. As far as too, it's like I say, it really depends. Backstage, I do need my cane because
okay,
it's dark.
yep,
They keep the lights off, so I have to keep my
yep,
cane. Sometimes people are open, and when you can tell when somebody genuinely care, they go, "Oh, but we're gonna put some lights, low lights down here, and help you." I like when people, but sometimes you can't never expect everything from people. You always got to be prepared. So
yeah.
I have my cane with me, and I just tell them I need some kind of tape on the stage, edge of the stage. We had to go up and down in the dark. So,
Yeah,
but
it's like
getting on stage
that
with
specific type of reasonable accommodations.
Yeah,
Mhm,
so but I never want people to think I can't do the job because of
mhm,
my deafness or vision. So sometimes it
absolutely.
worries me because I don't want them to go,
Yeah.
she requires too much. We can't work with her next time. You know what I mean? And I'm always afraid of that. So, but even though I was having all these anxieties and while we were in tech rehearsal and I'm like, we're doing this thing on the floor and my foot is hanging off the stage and I'm freaking out and I'm like, yeah, this not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But I keep, and I'm not the type of person to be a diva. I'm not a diva, but I would literally just go home and cry about it and just try to
Yeah.
like wanting to quit. But then I'm not a quitter. But I don't know for some reason that performance, I did the best I ever did, and I was like, I showed no
Oh,
worry because I had time to get to
yeah.
use of the stage. I had time to get used to. But as far as tools, I am on the verge of trying to do more research. What are those sort of things that I can use? Because there is a young lady in California. She reached out to me. No, someone mentioned my name to her. She's also deafblind Usher syndrome, but her vision is far worse than mine. Like she
Okay.
needs more extra help. She needs an interpreter, a interpreter be with her, and she
Mhm,
just finished graduating with a BA in dance. Um, so her and I'm like, well, she got some ideas. We both hard of hearing, we both deaf. We both okay, we got that part. But her vision is more, so we want to work together and figure out. So what did you use when you were in school? What are the things you use? And I would tell her the
mhm,
things I did. And
mhm,
um find out some kind of ways we can, because I really want to just be open of something, give an opportunity in the dance community to, like
Hmm.
I don't want this, my ears or my vision or anybody's vision or deafness to stop them from knowing that they can and cannot do something.
Yeah.
But I think I've told you, but when I did my grad school, and it's probably a good thing. I probably need to do more research. But when I did my grad school, my thesis was exploration of myself as a dancer. I did like a whole, just had to do a bunch of ideas. I had mock tape all on the stage. Like I mocked the tape up.
Hmm.
Um, I I made different shapes because if the lights is off, but if I feel that certain kind of shape, I know where I'm at on the stage.
Yeah.
So I marked the floor some kind of way. So if I marked this big old thick star, I knew I'm in the center. But if I stage right, I think I did like straight line, like 3 straight lines, zoom, 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 tape. But on this side, I did like a triangle. So
Yeah. So
when
you would know
I'm,
the difference.
I even
Hmm.
know where I'm at because
Yeah.
the whole performance was done with just, I mean, pitch black auditorium and only 2 lights. So, and the lights were not
Wow.
that, the lights were like very small directly on the stage. Um, but I also learned that fighters, and I hate fighters, I'm not a fighter fan, but the interest of fighters and vibration and the web, they base their whole entire life off of vibration. I said, that sounds like deaf people. We vibration, we know boom boom, somebody trying to get us attention. They banging on the floor, vibration and make us, look up. Um,
Yeah.
so spiders base off their web of vibration. So I tell them the first one is they know each vibration has something, means something. So one means food. So if something land on it in its shape, they know it's food. They know if another one vibrate, they know that it's danger, that it could be life threatening. It could be something coming at them. They know that. And then they know if it's love making, which is so crazy. So that story of a spider was like awesome. And I said, well, what if I do rope? I use rope. I had rope tied across. I don't know. I just tied the rope off. I tried different ways of tying the rope across the stage so it looked like a web, but I don't want to be a spider.
Yeah.
And then I
So
just the rope was more like a prop, but it was also a tool because it guided
that
me on the
is a
stage.
tool. Yeah, because you were in the complete dark, like, that
Yeah,
helped you move. Okay.
yes,
So,
yes.
it's so interesting. Thanks for sharing those different aspects because there probably are, other folks that are listening to this, and folks are gonna think, I'm low vision, I'm blind, maybe I have Usher syndrome where I'm deaf blind, and I can't do some of those activities like dancing or movement because, I how am I gonna be able to do that? How am I gonna hear the music? How am I gonna see if it's dark? Like, all those things. So, you just showing us or telling us those examples of what you do to, like, put your body and feel that movement, so amazing. So, wrapping up a little bit here, like, Brandy,
Mhm.
what is, like, one message that you would love to leave with our audience today about your journey or about what you hope for the future to make things a little bit easier for deaf blind folks? Like, what are you thinking about?
Um, what I tell anybody right now, there are 3 things that I like to say. One, you never know unless you try. You just said,
Mhm.
what if another listener is listening to my story and say, well, what if I can't do this? And what if you never know unless you try? Try that's comfortable for you, not what works for me might not work for you, but everybody
Yeah.
has a way. There is a way. Okay. So everyone, it's never too late. Why I say that? Because some people want, like for me growing up my whole entire life thinking deaf is dumb and I believed it. But I learned along the way in that path that it's never too late to really chase whatever that dream is, whatever that passion is, because we all have something in us. We all have a story and we all have some special, wonderful, magical gift that God has given us, but we just need to know what that is and just be open. Third one is never take a no from someone who's not powered to tell you yes. Because you'll get a lot of no's in life. of course. But if you really believe in your journey and your dream, and you're determined, and you say, "I know I can do this," and I tell people, "I will show you better than I can tell you," and that's what I tell people. Okay, because when you tell them deaf dance, oh, that's so cute, deaf dancer. But when I show them, it actually changes their whole perspective. Oh, you're a really good dancer. Oh, you really dance. Like, the expectation, breaking down the barriers. So just believe that you can do anything is possible, but it does take hard work, determination, and it takes discipline, and it takes never giving up. And don't look at failure as a bad thing. Failure is meant for us to grow. So keep
Yes.
living, keep going, keep fighting. You have a story, I have a story. And let's come together and build a whole world and open up our people's mind about how possibility is there for everybody. That.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Brandy, your story is so, so amazing. And, it's very interesting that we talked today too about not like the traditional assistive technology, right? Because you're using various other ways to be able to get through, rather than, like some of these other types of technologies we're using. I'm sure that it would be really cool if we could dance with a pair of AI glasses, right? Like it would probably help like to record what you're doing and then you can go back and take a look or something like that. But thanks for being here and sharing your stories today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Mm.
Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. So, thanks for joining us on the Echo Lens, where we view assistive tech through the eyes of lived experience. If today's conversation sparks something in you, you can share it, rate it, and keep the dialogue going. To learn more about the beautiful project or support our work, you can visit echovisionfoundation.org. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep seeing with love. Bye, everybody.